So if you're watching this video, then your understanding of what money means to you is probably wrong. And I don't want to presume that, but if you've clicked on this video, then that might be the case. And there's a few points I want to go over that over the past few years, I've broken down for myself and I've realized what I thought I knew about money and life, finances, education, and what I've been slowly learning from now and as I continue to go forward. So I want to break down a few different things that I've got in some notes on my phone here that I want to go over and just kind of make this video that I wish I had 4 years ago when I started learning about financial education, financial literacy, what everything to do with money even means, what the banking system really is like. And I'm not going to be diving into each individual topic because this would end up being like a 50-minute video or 45-hour long video. But YouTube is here. I don't need to go into fractional reserve banking or assets and liabilities. I will use these terms, but I just suggest you go and find out what these terms mean for yourself. I will briefly dive into some of them that may not sound obvious, but for the most part, a lot of them kind of assets and liabilities are kind of, by my explanation after the term, it will make sense what it is, hopefully. But I do suggest you go out and just watch these videos for yourself. There's literally tens of thousands of clips online on YouTube especially, about all the things I'm going to be explaining. So I'm not going to be diving into them because they already exist. I just kind of want to explain my journey, what I've learned over the past few years and what I'm continuing to learn now, and kind of summarizing that into my journey so far in this video, and kind of a video I wish I was able to watch a few years ago. So the first thing is what your definition of money is for you. So for me anyway, until a few years ago, I thought that I just went and worked a job somewhere. I mean, I wanted to start doing filmmaking, direct my own films, and I thought that I just had to go find a job somewhere. I didn't really know what money was other than if I'm highly skilled at something, I'll earn a lot. If I'm not highly skilled, I'll work for minimum wage. And that was about it, really. And you can perceive it that way, but that's ultimately not how money works in reality. The reality behind money is very different. I'll get onto that in a bit, but depending on your definition of money, it will obviously affect your entire life and will affect how you perceive just what's possible in life, basically. Because I'll be honest, at the beginning of learning, just before I started learning and watching like Rich Dad Poor Dad videos, talking about Robert Kiyosaki explaining assets and liabilities like 2021, 2020, 2020 for me as well, I honestly just thought that my only hope was filmmaking because I basically flunked school. I got like an E in maths and barely got a C in anything else, like in media and like English were my only things. Not surprisingly for a filmmaker, I got okay grades in, but not like A's or B's. And I honestly just thought that I will be working minimum wage unless I work in like an IT job or in the film industry, because that's all I understood. And thanks to going on this kind of self-educated financial education journey, I've not dived into it, but I know enough to really excel in life now. I've started my own agency and I started multiple businesses, but ultimately understanding money is just like the foundation to get it all going, basically. And it's a lifelong journey because I'm still learning. I'm at the very, very beginning. I was the pinnacle of the Dunning-Kruger effect in 2021. I thought I was hot shit. Like I was going to be Warren Buffett's junior assistant, basically, at the very beginning. If you don't know Warren Buffett, him and his late, partner, Charlie Munger, were kind of like these multi-billionaire like investors. Another proof that you don't, like, on to the second point, that you don't need a job to make money, which is literally the second point I'm going to right now. Because if you believe that you need a job to survive and make money and thrive, you're mistaken, because it's not. And I will kind of use a caveat here, is you can make anything a job, or you can make a job out of anything, because what does a job mean to you? Does it mean going to a 9 to 5 somewhere, clocking into an office? Does it mean going to the construction site? Does it mean logging in the morning? Does it mean logging in the evening? Does it mean going to the factory? Whatever it might mean to you, a job is just anything that pays you for your time or expertise and skills, right? It's what any company hires you for, or person hires you for as a contractor or an employee. So you need to redefine what a job is to you, because a job should just be whatever you are paid for your time, your skills, and experience. So, and a combination of them, because they can fluctuate massively. Because a lot of people are capped out, especially like small business owners and freelancers, because they don't want to charge more for their services, but they also don't want to, they don't have enough hours in the day. We're capped at how many hours per day we have in our lives. So we have to either charge more or hire more, and people get stuck there. So your belief that you need a job to survive, you need to clock into an office, or you need to go to that factory, or sign in online, is false. This kind of blew me away to begin with, about realizing that obviously I thought my only direction was going to be like as a filmmaker or working at a media or IT company. So I already knew that the traditional job for me was out the window anyway, because I wasn't going to be good enough to get a decent job doing it, a career path. So I kind of understood that already. I wasn't going to have a regular job. It was going to be in the film industry. But for anybody, for most people, it's not just about going and clocking into an office and working for your hourly wage or working for your yearly salary. I'll get on to the next point in just a minute, but it's not just about like clocking in somewhere, which leads me to that third point, which is understanding what money actually is in the first place, because this will direct how you go about making money in your life, and what money actually is in the first place, to understand where you're going to go in terms of like what skills you're going to require, which will lead to how much experience you have in certain things, who you know, like all these kind of personal development terms around like, who your connections are, which will determine your net worth, because whoever you have access to in your life determines how much you're worth, because you might not have anything, but you could know a billionaire and you have access to millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of properties, jets, cars, houses, a lifestyle. You can literally live a multimillionaire's lifestyle if you know a multimillionaire. Like it's crazy. So, and ultimately, this isn't out of the blue. Like, this isn't even something that is hard to comprehend. Like, millions of people do this all of the time. So, understanding what money is crucial, because money is this just literally unlimited now, depending on your mindset of like scarcity versus abundance, because that's a big thing I probably should have mentioned at the beginning, but most people don't realize how unlimited money really is, and especially over the past 100 years, because money was taken off of the gold standard, or the commodities basically, which basically just means that now most money around the world isn't tied to any valuable thing, so it's become worthless. And the only thing that gives it value is people's belief that it has value, and this supposed like basket of goods that we tie to inflation, and that's changed all the time. So ultimately, what you need to realize is that the money is only valued at the belief, at the amount that you believe it holds that value. So if they are saying that minimum wage is currently $15 an hour and we're growing at 5 to 10% interest a year, inflation, not interest, sorry, then you're realizing that, okay, well, how high really is the inflation versus what they're publicly saying it is, and then how much do you need to charge for your services or whatever you might do to earn money to actually make your living worthwhile. Because, for instance, one of the jokes, and especially a fractional reserve banking thing here, is that, a high interest savings account is maybe a few percent at best, and yet inflation is at least 10 to 20%, which means you're losing anywhere from 5 to 15% on your money every year, that your money is in a high interest savings account. So if you think you are making money, or at least saving, when your money's in a high interest savings account, especially over the course of a few years, if you put 10,000 a year into a saving, if you're trying to save 10,000 over the course of a couple of years, you've lost a couple of thousand at least on that, or a few thousand over the course of those couple of years, even though you've saved it, because the value of it's gone down. Obviously, it depends on specifically what you're buying, but especially like for saving for, this is why saving for houses and things is just a joke now, and you've got to find other means of acquiring the assets and things, which I'll go on to in just a second. But realizing what money is, realizing the fact that there is unlimited money, there is no scarcity of money, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars are printed every single year, just added to ones, just literally zeros added to the spreadsheet every year. The Federal Reserve, the banks of all the countries in the world, just print on demand. So there is unlimited money. It's just about literally connecting people, solving problems, providing value, connecting yourself or other people with other people that want problems to be solved and want value to be provided to. So that's literally it. Now the final one, is kind of connecting these all together and realizing the ways that you can actually make money. kind of going back to the second point about the belief that you need a job, like, yes, you obviously need something that gives you money to survive. Obviously, some people are like trust fund babies, or they might have investments, or they might have inheritance, whatever it might be. But either way, you have an income stream from somewhere, and hopefully multiple income streams, because that's kind of the next step of financial education, is not just having one source of income, because in life, things can happen. You never know the security of all of the things. Even the most safest thing in the world can fall and go risky, which is why redundancy is a pain in the ass, and all these different things can mess up our lives. So we want multiple streams of income to have safety nets, because you got to think of it like a foundation with pillars holding up like a table of your security. If you have one pillar that is your income, if that drops, you're dead. Whereas if you have, not literally, hopefully, but if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 streams of income, the more pillars of income you have, the safer. And this doesn't have to necessarily be from multiple things, because there's a kind of wealthy middle class that are kind of these millionaires that have maybe 5, 10, 20 million, and they have like 18 streams of income. And personally, I find that a bit stupid, because look at like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, for example. They have like maybe 2 or 3, but it's from Tesla, SpaceX, and for Amazon for Jeff Bezos. They have they have thousands of streams of income within one big thing that's like never gonna fall, really, ever. So understanding multiple streams there or one solid base is crucial. So really, when it comes to making money, I think the final point here is, it's not just about having a job that pays you well. It's about understanding that, well, in life you are your biggest asset anyway. Whether you're going to start a company or whatever it might be, your skills and experience and your communication skills with other people are invaluable. Just learning to communicate with people effectively is insanely valuable. Whether you want to start a company or not, whether you want to work at a different company, whatever it might be in life, it's invaluable. So growing your skills and experience so that you will thrive in any environment and you'll be your own asset in life. You'll always be the best investment anyway, so that you can connect with the right people and you can go on to make as much money as you want to make in any environment. But making money is ultimately about solving problems for people and providing value in some way, shape, or form, whether it's providing a product or a service or connecting people. Like, using an extreme here, you can literally, you could go to a networking event, talk to a multimillionaire and connect him with someone else that needs services, or connect them both in some way, take a commission. You could literally live off doing that. If you went to a networking event every month and connected people, took like a couple of % commission for just helping someone connect them to each other. Like, that's what's possible in life, and it's literally just connections. And that is how people get wealthy, and that's how also you can, start getting assets and things. People can gift you assets for connecting people. It's crazy. But ultimately, going on to assets, that's the final thing you really need to realize. I won't want to ramble too much through this point, but knowing how to make money is crucial, but then knowing how to use your money to make more money. And this is where like assets and liabilities coming from, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki videos, which you can again look up online as well. But truly realizing that when you earn your money, you then want to reinvest that money into basically getting your money to work for you. So into assets, into properties, into other businesses, whatever it might be, that basically holds your money at an actual rate that's not just high interest savings account 5%, but actually 10, 20%, whatever it might be per year. And it's growing in the stock market, in a house, in a valuable car, in watches, in art, whatever it might be, or back into your business as a reinvestment, whatever it might be. But ultimately, one of the last things I want to, like a kind of quote here I want you to remember, is that you want to try as hard as you can to get to this point where you can, you take the first dollar you make and you only ever spend the second dollar, which basically means you take the first dollar, you invest it, and then the dollar you make from that is the one that you can spend. So basically only ever live off the fruits or the profits of your assets gains. So if you have a job, you've got a company, it makes 100 grand in a year, you invest that 100 grand into an asset, that asset pays you 50 grand back, you live off that 50 grand. That's how you can do it. And ultimately at the beginning it's slow, but it grows and grows and grows over time, and connections can speed this up as well. But there's so many different ways to make money, there's so many different ways to grow your money, exponentially grow your money, that I won't dive into them all. But either way, that's about it. Sorry for the kind of ending ramble, although this entire video has been a ramble, but I hope this helps you kind of begin your financial education journey. It's a video I wish I had Despite the ramblings, I probably don't wish for 15 minutes of ramblings, but it's a video I wish I could have watched about 4 or 5 years ago, and I hope that it helps you as much as it possibly can do. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos as well, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Comment your thoughts below, comment if you have any questions, or just any comment you want to leave, feel free to. And yeah, thanks for watching again. See you next time. Bye bye.